All right.
Kind of.
We rolling.
Kind of. See, I'm just gonna reread this last verse. First Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, the roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And like we were saying before the stream cut off, it's to tie it back to the topic of the lesson. That's why we got to be in the spirit of embracing the entry level fire, man. Because Satan is out here, trying to clip loose ends. Because YAHAWASHI, being the father of spirits, uses all his creations, all right, in order to get his mission or his job accomplished. Coach, you had a precept?
Yes, sir. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 22. It says, he also, now this is the parable, for context sake, this is the parable of Mashiach, the parable of the sower. All right, and we know the seed, according to the scripture, is the word. All right, and the field is the world. All right, this is on verse 22. It says, he also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Yeah, Jake, get tired of struggling. Get tired of going through tribulations, man, after a certain amount of time. Yeah, what was this guy back in the day? He was like, you gotta go out on the fucking highways and byways, man. So, you gotta be willing to suffer for an extensive period, man. You gotta come up under an order for an extensive period. That's another thing that choked Jake up. Jake get tired of being in order. They get tired of being corrected. They want to be, the top dog. Desiring, rank and forcing, they self, into, the spotlight, because they get tired of just coming into a particular order. When, look, man, we all being taught order right now, man. So that's what the scripture going into that. When persecution arises and for the word, he endured for a while, but then what? It say the word is choked out of him, man. So you got to be that spirit that's going to push all the way through this thing, man. You can't beat them what they call them perennial plants. I think perennial plants only last 2 years. Yeah. You can't beat them perennial plants. You got to beat them evergreens. It's seasonal. They go through spring, summer, winter, and fall. And they some of the most sturdy trees. You don't never really see evergreen trees falling. They sturdy, and they have hella health benefits. The pine needles, they have hella benefits, man. So that's the type of spirit you want to have. You want to have that longevity, man. Okay, go ahead.
I have a little bit more.
Oh yeah, a little bit more. Go ahead. I'll finish that.
First Peter 5, verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Now, if I can say something real quick, it says, whom, talking about Satan, resist steadfast in the faith. Now, why do you have to resist Satan? Because he's going to come with all kind of ammunition towards you. Some is going to be direct, some is going to be indirect. He's going to come with opportunities. He's going to come with temptation. Outside of infirmities and affliction.
We're saying Satan desired to sift you as wheat.
Yep. Yep. So it says, whom resist steadfastly. Meaning, hey, Satan might offer you an opportunity to lay with a woman that got a man. Resist that. He might give you an opportunity where you could work on Saturdays. Resist that. These are the different things that Satan is going to do to try to, throw you off, but you got to resist it. You got to get down.
If I can make a point too, just to add to what the bishop said, we also got to understand that we're suffering these things, and we're fighting all these spiritual battles because there's men that's still in the world that need us, man. You know what I'm saying? The one thing that Jake, can focus in too much, especially Buzz used Kobe Bryant for an example. These guys who rose to a very high level of accomplishment. You see what I'm saying? They're pushing themselves so they can better bring along their teammates. That's why a lot of those guys, Jordan, even back in the day, Magic, Isaiah Thomas, man, they will be getting in fucking fist fights in practice, man, because they're pushing themselves to maximize their potential, and they expect the men around to do the same thing. But you can't say, like Kobe talking to Shaq, how they would have won more if Shaq was in shape. You can't look to the man beside you and be like, man, what you doing, man? If you ain't up for your game, they'll make you a hypocrite. Just last verse, 1 Peter 5:10. But the God of all grace, who have called us into his eternal glory by Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. See, so then you got to get to a point that you got to use that entry level fire, and you got to feed that fire to the point that it's an internal fire and internal power, but it's that by you carrying that light and that torch is able to settle you, man. And Jake don't want to get to the point that they just push. Because even when you're doing certain things, things become more comfortable actually after once you get used to being out of your comfort zone. But with Jake, we're trying to avoid, being out of their comfort zone, so they never get settled because the pressure's gonna keep coming. If the team that you're playing is running a full court pressure, you can't just be like, man, throw the ball up, man, forget about it.
Right.
Nah, you gotta actually embrace that pressure so you get to the point. I'm breaking this press. I'm gonna dish it, and we're gonna yam it in your face.
That's right, bro. Going through the motions, going through the motions, man.
I got a quick etymology of the word.
Go ahead, bro.
Because the brother brought out 1 Peter 5:8, speaking about how our adversary, which is Satan, tries to take us away from the truth. So this is the word lure. On Edom Online, it says early 14th century. It says something which allures or entices and attracts. It also says lure or bait or to call.
You know that word reminds me of the word amusement. Amusement means to divert one's attention to. So just if you're hungry, this truth should amuse you, really. All right. When you read about, especially when you read about the accounts in the Kings and the Chronicles, the Maccabees, and all that, that should amuse you and draw your attention towards it, and really divert you from outside pleasures or whatnot, and keep that fire and that hunger going.
And just just to add to your point, that's why we our lives are dedicated around the truth. Even the things that we do outside of just reading and study, such as exercising, our eating habits, everything is still dedicated towards the truth, man.
They go into their addiction.
Yeah, their addiction.
Because even like we said, when you're addicted to something, you may not necessarily be partaking in that particular act, but everything else you're doing feeds you partaking in that act. We're addicted.
Yep.
It's like a natural thing.
All right.
Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead.
Okay. This is Luke 14. I'm gonna start at 15. Just speaking about if you're not hungry, you're gonna make excuses or your alibis. So Luke 14 and 15. And when one of them that sat at meat with him heard these things, he said unto him, Blessed is he that shall eat bread in the kingdom of the Most High. Then said he unto him, A certain man made a great supper. And this is red lettering, so it's YAHAWASHI speaking. And bade many, and sent his servants at supper to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready. That goes back to Proverbs. Is that Proverbs 6? I think it's Proverbs 6 and 9 where it says, Wisdom has made the table ready, mingled the wine, killed the beast. Pretty much everything was established for you already. You really don't have to do much but listen. All right, because everything's already established for you. So it says, and he sent the servants at supper time to say to them that were bidden, Come, for all things are now ready. Verse 18. And they all with one consent began to make excuse.
Oh man.
They lacked the hunger. You see what I'm saying? Any brother can, intercept.
And I actually did a video on that scripture this week, And when you look into the word excuse, it goes into being pardoned from it. So Jacob find any and every reason, not to do this. I just got married, man. I got to pick my rib up. You know what I'm saying?
It says, the first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground. And I must needs to go see it and go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused, have me pardoned.
See how bad the Bible is too, because it already set Jake up. Like,
Yeah.
the Lord already got you. Like,
Yeah.
He talking about, you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
That's you. Yeah.
God.
Verse 19 says, another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, please have me excused. Verse 20. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot. To me, that's the worst one.
Yeah.
You don't let a woman intercede and be an obstacle and a stumbling block to you from eternal life. It says, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. So that the servant came and shewed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor, the maimed, and the halt, and the blind. All right? He said the poor, the maimed, the halt, and the blind. Why did he say those? Because those are individuals who don't have anything to lose and have a hunger to be cured from their blindness, their ailments, their infirmities. They have a hunger. Someone who ain't got nothing to lose will do anything to gain something. You see what I'm saying? All right? It says, and the servant said, Lord, it is done as thou commanded, and yet there is room. Verse 23, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. If you're not hungry, you ain't worthy. That goes back to John the 3rd chapter, where Matthew the 3rd chapter, I think, where it was said, I think by John the Baptist, bring those meet for repentance, meaning acceptable. Bring in the ones who are hungry.
That's right. And if I could say, it say, you will not eat of my supper.
Yeah.
Meaning that YAHAWASHI ain't gonna come sup with your ass no more. Now Satan gonna come sup with you, and next thing you know, Babylon is the Vatican. Next thing you know, the missiles is ain't in the Bible. Next thing you know, the 12 tribes, the earth is flat, and the 12 tribe sign ain't real. Because why? Because the Lord said you won't taste of his supper. So he ain't supping with you no more. Now Satan at your table, giving your ass swine, you know, swine, and now you eating octopus. You know, spiritually you eating elephant.
Bacon wrapped scallops.
Bacon wrapped scallops. You know, you eating poison ivy. You know, you eating all these abominable things because why? Because you was a niggard at the table, man. You know, you was insatiable, man. You had an excuse. You ain't want to eat at the table of YAHAWASHI. So you know how disrespectful that is when you invite somebody to a dinner. Say, look, I'm prepared dinner, man. You know, I want you to come through. Oh yeah, come through. You make the dinner, you get everything ready. You know, then 2 minutes before everybody's time to arrive, you get made. Well, you know, I forgot I had to pick my daughter up from the train station. Yeah. Like, you motherfucker, I'm never inviting you to dinner.
How much of a hypocrite these guys be too, especially in these times because we have the internet. You go back 5 or 6 months before, and you're teaching that the scriptures speak about Babylon and the missiles. Now fast forward 6 months. Now 6 months later, now the missiles is about the scripture talking about volcanoes. Like,
right.
how can you believe in somebody like
that?
Yeah.
You know what that is? Oh, Salaki. Unreliable.
Yeah, unreliable.
That's all.
Has no fruit.
Exactly.
You know, you look at the dude YAHAWAH that used to be in our camp. He's been going on what 3 years now. Ain't added one soul to the church.
Right.
He ain't added one soul to the church. You know, you look at ITR, Shy Israelites Tried and Refined. Niggas dwindle like a hoe. So you mean to tell me the Spirit of the Lord is going to come through you keyboard ass niggas, man? That's not going out doing the work? You know? No, you're not fruit meat for repentance. And it all goes back until you not giving yourself fully over to the service of your spirit wasn't right, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You niggas ain't right. Your spirit ain't right, man. You got guile in your spirit. You got malice. You definitely despisers of government. When you was in the camp, you was probably inwardly hating on the head brothers. You know, one listening to orders. You was self-willed, vain as a hoe, you know, mean. These are all the things, the pattern that you guys show. And we learn from you Negroes, man. We learn from you crusty ass Negroes, man, like that, man. We learn what not to do.
Yeah.
We look at your pattern, man. And we're like, you know what, I'm not gonna carry myself like that, man. I wouldn't dare put my head on the chopping block for a nigga like that, man.
Right.
You know, and that's all because why? Going back to the initial point of the video, you dudes wasn't really hungry, man. You was hungry for the wrong things. You was hungry for fame and glory, vain glory, man. Them useful lusts. You wasn't in this thing to serve Hamashiach with a pure conscience and hopes that you would attain salvation.
Yeah.
That's why they say it's always saying in the world, you know, basically the way you start is the way you finish.
Yeah.
You know, people say to receive the word with meekness.
Yeah.
They ain't receive it with meekness. That's in James 1. You know, they received it with such pride, man. Oh, all right, go ahead.
This is James chapter 1, verse 21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls.
Right. So they didn't receive it with that spirit of meekness, man. They seen it as an opportunity to have that, you know, the vain glory and build themselves up. Then they come in a lowly state of, well, I just want to be a humble brother to serve the Lord and get saved, man.
Yeah.
You know?
They like walking, walking away from camp like, yeah, I'm that nigga.
That's right.
I'm that dude, man. I cussed Jake out there.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. You know, go home, they watch the video 10 times of them, rewinding it. I like that part when I said that, man. That was tight. That was tight. You know?
Yeah.
Getting hyped off a little.
I need to be higher in the camp where I'm
Right.
You know what? They don't just want one penny.
Right.
Yeah.
They want that brother's penny, that brother's penny.
Yeah.
Everybody get the same penny, man. No matter how long you've been toiling in this thing.
Absolutely.
They wanted more than one penny.
Hey, that's why the Lord got it set up like that to keep brothers humble. That's why the Lord got it set up in the spirit where the last shall be first and the first shall be last. To keep those that were first humble. I came in this thing first, man. Well, the Lord got it set up to where the last gonna be first and the first gonna be last. Just to keep brothers humble and let you know that, hey, this not a man anyway. You are an unprofitable servant. You supposed to do this. This your reasonable servant. So you just woke up before some brothers. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. You know, but at the same time, there still has to be a level of respect maintained for the structure that Hamashiach has set up. And a lot of guys, they want to supersede that, man. You know, they see themselves as the Kobe Bryant. You know, they see themselves as the Michael Jordans and the LeBron James. You know, when the Lord really probably didn't even take you down that dirt road yet, man.
Right.
You know, the Lord didn't really put that thick hell on you yet to be approved of a Kobe.
Somebody gotta be the Derek Fisher.
Right. Just play the part.
Robert Ory.
Yeah.
Fisher still
Hey,
got
Dennis
Bobby.
Rock the Worm.
Yeah. Big shot. Yeah. The worm. Yeah. Big shot Bobby, man.
But for real, like those role players are what enabled the great players to be great.
That's right.
You didn't have the Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman won championships in different cities.
Yep.
Where you got people like Charles Barkley who ain't catching one man.
Shit. You don't know nobody who played with Charles Barkley.
Damn, that's true.
Now, one person I can remember that. I mean, some brothers probably can, you know, but I can't remember nobody that played with Charles Barkley. But I bet you remember Tony Kukoc.
Right?
You know, I bet you remember
Luke Longley.
yeah, Luke Longley.
Rick Fox.
Yeah, Rick
Right.
Fox
Yeah.
and Brian Shaw. You know, you remember these guys. Why? Because they contributed to the order that was established, man. They knew that he had that it, and they let him. They helped him with that it, and he helped them be the best role players that they could be. You gotta know how to make the men around you great too, like YAHAWASHI. That's what they say. That those are the intangibles of basketball. When you can make the people around you great, you know, and that's what a lot of people can't do. They don't know how to motivate. You know, they man, F that brother, man. That brother, man, whatever. You know.
If I just may say just another carnal point, like I mentioned just earlier, somebody got to be the Derek Fisher Derek Fisher still got 5 rings.
Yes.
Yup.
It's like Kobe Bryant. Shit, Roger Moore, he got 6.
Same penny.
6.
Same penny.
You know what I'm saying?
Same penny.
Same penny.
That's true.
He got, yeah, that's a perfect point.
Yeah.
He got the same penny as Kobe did, but he didn't have all the stats and attributes, and probably didn't have the talent. But he sat back and did what he was supposed to do. He was maybe the pinky toe of the foot, but still won. Still got a dub. It was necessary.
I got a precept too.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew 23. The bishop spoke about guys who try to exalt themselves, and feel like they should be in a certain space or place instead of just falling under order. This is Matthew 23, verse 11. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And this is red letter. So really, as great as YAHAWASHI is, and as perfect as he was in that carnation, he became the greatest servant.
Absolutely.
By not only giving his life, but ensuring that his life was perfect, so he could be found to be a perfect sacrifice. That's how he's the greatest spirit, besides Yahweh, But he became the greatest servant for us. And it says, Matthew 23 and 12, and whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased. And he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. See, Jake and the world don't understand how the spirit operates. The spirit operates counter to how the world operates and rewards. The spirit rewards those qualities and those intangible assets that the world hates. The world hates meekness. The world hates humility. It's to the point now the world really has a sour eye towards charity. You see what I'm saying? The world hates brotherhood, and the world definitely hates seeing us brothers coming together and pushing out the truth of the Bible, man.
Yeah, this world hates to see another Jake satisfied. They won't even let your ass over in traffic, man.
Yeah.
Those just being charitable in small things like that. They won't let your ass over. They won't. You will hold the door for a black ass bitch. She won't say thank you. Or then somebody will see you walking into a store right behind you, and they'll keep the door closed. They arguing over parking spots. It's just small things of charity according to the world that Jake don't even do. These people ain't hospitable no more. So that's why what the brother's saying. But in the truth, man, we always thinking about brothers, man. Hey, what this brother need? You good? You need this? You need that? You need. Hey, let's pray for this brother. Let's anoint this brother. Hey, this brother, you need a couple of dollars. Hey, check then put that in your tank, man. This is the mindset that righteous brothers have amongst each other. Because why? Because we servants for YAHAWASHI, but we also serve each other. So we call into this thing to really serve, man. And if you ain't got a zeal to serve, if you think everything needs to be handed over to your silver spoon ass, if you think everybody's supposed to, crack your beer and bring your plate, you ain't in the right mindset. You have more to that?
That was it.
Go ahead, Kasquan. You had something? I know you had something.
No, I had to. Philippians 2.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Philippians 2 and 3 says, let nothing be done through strife and vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. Verse 4, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others.
Yeah, meaning be selfless, man. It's not always about you. Everything is not always about you. The world don't revolve around you. The world's not going to stop because of you. So you got to play your part. You got to look on the things of others. Sometimes you got to forsake yourself to go minister for another brother. You may have plans, but this brother needs you. You got a flat tire on the highway, man. You're the only one that's available. You got to put your plans to the side, playboy. That's right. You got to go see about that brother. You may have a quick date with a chick, but a brother like, hey, man, bro, I'm catching hell, bro. Like, I need somebody, man. Bro, please, bro. Please, man, just come, pick me up, man. I'm going through. You got to, hey, look, baby girl, I'm going to have to reschedule, man. I have an emergency pop up, man. You got to put yourself on the back burner at times for the sake of the brotherhood, man. You got to look not only on the things of yourselves, but also on the things of others. That's why the scriptures say that the adversary is going to try us all, but it says, consider yourself, lest ye be tempted in the same manner. So think about if it was you. What would you want to be reciprocated to you.
Same company.
You would want that same extension of relief. And that's the mindset of a true Israelite that serves Yahweh BAHSHAM YAHAWASHI. You know, brotherly love, man. Loving the Lord and loving the brotherhood. These are the two greatest commandments. If you have not these things, you become unfruitful, man. Yahawashi is big on brotherly love, man. And notice, you know, that Yahawashi, what? He came out the tribe of Judah. Was when you look into the word Judah, it means Yahweh does, meaning Yahweh stinks. And why is that? Because the tribe of Judah, they're always about doing what's right for the Lord. They always about putting Yahweh BAHSHAM YAHAWASHI first. Mainly that tribe, but also the other tribes. But mainly that tribe was known for keeping Yahweh BAHSHAM YAHAWASHI first. That's why they have that name, Yahweh Stinks. You know, because they were always known for keeping the Lord first and keeping his servants first. And therefore they were a tribe that was heavily praised.
That's the only tribe who has the name Yahweh in it.
Yep. They were a tribe, out of all the Israelites, they were a tribe that were heavily praised because they will always put Yahweh BAHSHAM YAHAWASHI first. You look at all the kings of Israel, all the righteous kings were Judah.
Yep.
You know, because they were always about putting the Lord first. Therefore, they received thanks of the Lord, man. So that's the type of mindset. That's why the scriptures tell you, really, all the tribes, we come out the rivers of Judah, the waters of Judah. So we all supposed to embody those characteristics that Yahawashi had, man. And that main characteristic that Yahawashi was trying to impart unto the disciples during his ministry was what? Loving each other, man. That was like the main thing he was pushing, man. You know, y'all brothers gotta love each other, man. You know, y'all gotta have each other back, man. You gotta, you know, bear this yoke, man. You gotta come up under this yoke, man. Y'all gotta love each other, man. Y'all gotta serve, man. You know, that was the main focus, man. You know.
Alright,
Go ahead, bro.
verse 5, it says, Philippians 2 and 5, let this mind be in you, which is also in Yahawashi Hamashiach. Verse 6, who being in the form of a power, thought it not robbery to be equal with the Most High, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men.
Yeah, he said he took of himself no reputation. Meaning he didn't go around bragging and boasting like he was rich. You know, I'm the son of a king. I'm the son of the Heavenly Father. You can't do nothing to me. You know, like a old privileged ass Edomite. Do you know who my father is? I'll have your neck on the chopping block for that, sir. No, that wasn't what Yahawashi did. Yahawashi said he didn't make himself with no reputation, but took on the likeness of a servant. You know?
That's
I
extreme.
just asked him, are you the king of the Jews? He said, you said. Thou said.
You gotta think about it, somebody who had all power and still went through what he went through. He even said, I can bring, 12 legions of angels?
Yep.
And he said that humbly.
Yeah.
He didn't say it in
It's factual.
The water, bro. That's exactly. He was just speaking of fact. He didn't say it as in boasting and bragging. He's like, I mean, I can. It's just a fact. I can. I got all power. Right? When he got baptized, all power came down to him. When he got baptized from John the Baptist, and he still conducted himself of no reputation as a servant. He washed the disciples' feet.
Yep.
Even one who betrayed him.
Yep.
He let the woman wash his feet with the hair.
Yep.
You know,
And
like
you remember the woman with the gift of the alabaster box and the oil?
Yeah.
We speak about her every Passover. So the Lord was, he was really, man, he really gave a lot of people their reputation through what he did. Because Yahawashi was a sacrifice, a lot of people's names is written in the book of life. Y'all was that.
This is John 13 and 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. Yeah, because that's actually the definition of respect is do unto others. You know, they teach you in school, do unto others as you want to be done. You know, And here's also the definition of selfless. It says caring more for what other people need and want rather than what you want for yourself. Rather than for yourself, rather than what for yourself need or want. You know what I'm saying? So I'll keep going. Verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love for one to another.
Right.
Because people notice. You know, even people in the world, they notice how we move and how we serve each other. You know, me and a couple brothers, you know, we were just walking down the street. A stranger told us, I could tell y'all are close.
Yeah.
You know, can't remember exactly, you know, verbatim how she said it, but hey, that's the spirit. Because we wasn't doing nothing but walking down the street.
That's it.
You know?
Yeah, she said I could look at y'all and tell y'all love each other. Y'all got each other back.
Mm-hmm.
We like, oh man, that's the spirit.
That's the spirit.
Down the street. Yep.
Through the spirit backs you up perfectly. This is YAHAWASHI. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. It reads, it says, therefore all things whatsoever ye would that man should do to you, do ye even so to them. For this is the law of the prophets.
That's right. You know, that's the law of the prophets, man. Hey, the prophets was never about themselves, man. They would have to wake up early, go out, face death, travel, you know, be suffer without, you know, all for what? For everybody else.
Prophets is service. It's a service job.
Yeah. It's really customer service.
Customer service.
Yeah.
You know? But we ain't, you know, we don't have that fake facade customer service like Edomite. We raw.
Right.
You know, we don't sit there, well, how's your day, sir? No. We out here to serve, but at the same time, we raw. We tell the truth. Like, no, that's some bullshit, bro.
Serve your judgment too.
Yeah, we tell you, yeah, we'll serve your ass in judgment too. But hey, it's still a selfless thing, because, you know, you got certain Jakes, man, they give up on their people, man. I ain't saying nothing to these Negroes no more, man, these young bucks. I've been saying something to them around this neighborhood for 15 years, man. I ain't got nothing else to say to them. They just let the neighborhood run wild. They get tired of standing up for their people, man. But the prophets was always there, going in on Jake. Going speaking on behalf of Jake at times too. Lord, please have mercy on him, man. You know, Baba Kushai had, you know, they would always go before the Lord, you know, to you know, for prayers. Look at Jeremiah, read the book of Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah started out very compassionate for the Israelites, man. Then he drew the conclusion after. He's like, man, basically, man, fuck these people, man. You know, after him serving, he got to a point, he was like, you know what, man, Jake ain't fucking right, man. That's why he said, pray not for these people. But at first, when you read Jeremiah 8:21, he said, I am black for the hurt of the daughter of my people. He was like, damn, man, Jake been fucked up in Babylon. Then after him kept serving and going out and warning the people, and going out and warning the people, he drew the conclusion like, man, these people ain't fucking right, man. You know? And that's the conclusion that we draw. But at the end of the day, we still out there. You know? We still out there, putting our life on the line. You know? That's the service of a prophet. You know? That's what YAHAWASHI did. Hey, he told the disciples, he said, what? Take no person, neither script. You know? He said, hey, don't even take 2 coats. He said, take 1 coat. Don't even take 2 coats. He said, a workman is worthy for his hire. You'll be good. Just go. I send you forth as sheep amongst wolves. You'll be all right. I got you. You know how much dedication that takes? You can't even take 2 coats.
Hey, we keep saying the word desire. The word desire means love. It takes a lot of love for what you do. Just go and do it like that. Drop every, like, what did Peter? Dropped his nets.
Yep.
Pretty much quit his jobs. And,
Yeah.
You know, he already loved what he did before he did it.
Yep.
He saw YAHAWASHI, which was the job description. I love it. You gotta do it.
Yep.
You know, that's how the same attitude you gotta have. Man. That hunger.
Yep.
Like I think guy Michael Jordan, when he was playing, you know, he was like basically a high profile athlete, so they had, you know, they kept the eye on him and they didn't want him to get hurt. So he had something in his contract called the love of the game, something like that. Basically, because he wanted, you know, play at different parks and rec centers, because he loved the game that much. But Nike, and you know, they didn't want him to, you know, get hurt. He's like, nah, man, you gotta put that in my contract, man. Nah,
Like, I want to play. This is what I would love to do.
Yeah.
You know, so like in the truth, man, everything we put our minds to the truth, man, we're always thinking about it, man. You know?
Yep. I got a quick precept. Is Ecclesiastes 4:28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee.
Yeah, and it doesn't. That doesn't mean that we have death in mind. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean, you know, yeah, I'll die for this truth. You know, Jake be trying to sound tough. No, it's basically saying, look, if that's what you're faced with, you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Stay down.
Stay down. You know, don't be no Takashi. You know,
Right.
hey, you gotta, you know,
I'll give you what you want, man.
you know, but that's also being selfless. Is you know, you're willing to basically, you know, take the fall and not deny your brothers, not deny YAHAWASHI, you know, just because Esau putting a little pressure on you. That's selfless as well.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right,
That's
bro.
why I say, what you say, what's that? Second Measure said, I began to commend them. This was stiffly for the man of the Lord. So you may be faced with something, you got to, you know, basically you have to stand up, man.
We all gonna be faced with that major final test. You know, and that's why the scriptures say, that's why the scriptures tell us that, show yourselves men. Be not afraid of sudden fear. You ain't you ready to moonwalk into the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, you gotta earn your keep. The scriptures say the servant is not greater than his master. If the world hated the Lord, it's gonna hate you too. And you might be one of the most likable people to have 10 toes on the soul, man. The world's still gonna hate you. Why? Because you in the spirit of the Lord.
Yes, facts.
You know, you ain't did nothing to nobody. They just hate. They just hate the fact that you love the Lord. And the world is gonna come up against all of us. But that means what? Hey, we go through the motion. You know, that's like jumping ship. That's like, you know, if you know, America in its prime. The worst thing you could have did was jump ship. These niggas about to dominate the planet Earth. You know, you better stay on board. You know, them niggas getting ready to take down hella kingdoms. Niggas gonna produce missiles. You know, niggas gonna establish a whole fucking nation and globally dominate the planet Earth for a season. You better not have jump ship when it was rising up. You know.
If I may say, just to land back off the captain, he was talking about just because Esau puts a little pressure on you, don't fold fold like a taco and crack like an egg. It reminds me of the first chapter of Jonah. In the first chapter of Jonah, those men, he was sleeping. He was sleeping, chilling in the ship while the waters was going, you know, heavy. Everybody was scared, and they woke him up. And they said, "Man, this is because of you went against the Lord." And Jonah owned up to it. They put pressure on Jonah. He's like, "Well, yeah, y'all should just throw me over ship, so y'all don't, you know, catch the blunt end of this." You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. If we get pressured by Esau, shit, hey, bro, I'm just gonna go, you know, jump over so y'all don't get, you know, taken down. I ain't gonna say shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the fall so other brothers can keep going. In the faith, man. Hey,
and that's basically, you gotta hold your ground, man. And you gotta believe too. Hey, man, YAHAWASHI with me. He been with me this long. I ain't gave up faith. I ain't gave up the hope. I'm still praying. So, hey, the Lord said what? He said, whoever called on the name of the Lord and was forsaken. We gotta think upon scriptures like the 3 holy children, man. You know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, which their Hebrew names was Mishael, Hananiah, and Azariah. You know, they were all they were known as friends to Daniel, man. They were Daniel's friends. Daniel was, you know, his Hebrew name was Daniel, but his Babylonian name was I think it was Belshazzar. Yeah, Belshazzar. You know, and they got cast in the fiery furnace. Still in there, chilling like a mug. Chilling. They then say they seen the son of man in the fire. YAHAWASHI was in there with him. So anything that you go through, you know YAHAWASHI ain't just gonna sit there and just be like, whatever, you know, I got better things to do than watch him, you know, suffer. When he can relate to your sufferings. Because he started it. He was the first one to suffer for this. So you know, if we gotta suffer, you know, for this truth, and we get put in them dire situations, we gotta be in the mind, YAHAWASHI somewhere around here. Him personally, his spirit is around you to protect you.
You know, that's why I say you know, the classic scripture, wisdom, knowledge should be the stability of our times. But the scripture is supposed to give you a level of groundness and it's supposed to really calm your spirit. You know, when these things come upon you, really, that's why I say at destruction of fame and thou shalt laugh. Yeah. Automatically, you should be like, yo, man, we prophesy about this, man. You shouldn't even be really like, you know, bugging out, man. Yeah. You know, shocked and like, oh shit, man, no, what is happening to me, man? Like, you said it on video. Every week. What's up, boy? You know what I'm saying?
God. Yeah.
If I may, that's partially why we go over the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Like we say the same things repetitively, continuously to prepare our mind for that very moment, that very hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Called desensitization.
Yeah.
The more you like, let's say for instance, you know, you basically like let's say you watch a lot of gore and stuff like that. You know, that's preparing your mind. You know, for basically a time of war, you know, or you know, just preparing your mind to see some messed up, some head,
because man, we gonna see some messed up stuff out here.
Yeah,
you know, we gonna see some messed up stuff. It ain't gonna always be, you know, glitz and glamour. Hey, you gonna be put in a moment where you gonna feel like the Lord forsook you. Because remember, the servant is not greater than his master. So it's gonna be that moment where you gonna feel like, man. Because that's how he felt. Yeah. So you gotta feel that. We gotta feel that every emotion that YAHAWASHI felt through, we gotta feel it as a body. You might not feel every single one, but collectively as a body of YAHAWASHI, the 144, we'll feel every emotion that YAHAWASHI felt because we're trying to be joint heirs. So we'll all have to experience some form of betrayal, some form of denial, some form of you know, you being forsaken, some form of you know, knowing that your life got to get took, you know, some form of overcoming, you know, every form in spirit that in vibe that YAHAWASHI was faced with, we'll have to face it as well, man. So that's why what the brother's saying, at the end of the day, this lesson going all the way back to being hungry, man. If you hungry for it, you willing to go through growing pains. Because you hungry. You willing to go through whatever it takes. Like I made the analogy about if you want it, you willing to go through uncharted territory to get what you want.
That's right.
You ain't, I ain't gonna pray for patience, because you pray for patience, boy, you're gonna be tried, man.
They be thinking that too.
And that's dangerous, because it's like, bro, you know you need patience. Don't not ask for the Lord to give you what you need in fear of what you got to go through to get it, man. Be willing to go through it, man. It don't matter what it is. Like, hey, this just a movie. Like Gamal always say, it's really not even real. You know, it's really not even real. It's all an illusion, because real life is the kingdom of heaven, because it's everlasting. This is all just a test. It's not even really real. You know, what is a test to a diploma? Nothing. You can fail goddamn 10 tests to get your diploma. That test ain't mean shit. You know? If you think about it, like, it's there to help you, but at the end of the day, what is all that if you still get your diploma at the end? The real deal is making it. You know, so don't worry about the test. Do the test. You might pass it, you might fail it. If you fail it, get ready to take it again and pass it. You know? Simply put. You know? Anybody had a precept, gonna go ahead and get it right. Let's find out. You got one? Alright, we'll close out on you, bro.
Because yeah, we talked about, you know, hey, preparing your mind and whatnot. This is 1 Peter 1:13. Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to see the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of YAHAWASHI HaMashiach.
Beautiful precept.
And that's straightforward right there. With that.
Yeah. So you know, hey, keep hope. And you gotta always believe, hey, I'm gonna see the Lord, man. I'm gonna remain till the Lord come back. I want to see him. I want to behold his glory. I want to behold his majesty, man. I want to see that holy host of angels coming back, man. I want to see them brothers, man, getting lifted up, man. I'm going to make it, man. Get out of here. You know, don't quit. You know, push through it, man. You know, the crown is right there. You just got to hold on to it, you know. You got to know how to juke like Barry Sanders in the spirit, man. Nigga trying to make you fumble and drop the crown, man. You know, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out, giving all praise, glory, and honor to
YAHAWAH, BAHSHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHSHAM, KAKODASH.
All right, double honors once again to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace salutations. Much love to the elect. Stay hungry, man. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Hey, shalom.
Shalom.